It is Yoda Monday mid-morning. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. Let us work with the latest iteration of All Good One's Easy Meditation. The view of reality that supports letting go is the first fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. It can be described in many ways, including Mahayoga's Wisdom War Map. Therefore, let us chant an explanation of the 12-syllable mantra. I invoke teachers from loving action of mindfulness and meditation, as well as the Hung view supporting release that the Tantric. Guru teaches Pema enlightenment and siddhi abilities Hung may be mastered by all. Rather than indulge or controlling tendencies, rather follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief. We could just recite these wise words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us therefore sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors for statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. So, we're going to keep track of our first of 9 collections of our right hand's 12 mantra repetitions. By touching the tip of our left thumb to our left little finger, and then rest this left hand upon our left thigh. Doing so gently invites our subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Please chant with me. May we see how all circumstances are lots appearing yet void, as real as a real or imagined paradise of light could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. Let us take all these words and coalesce them into just 6 syllables that we divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. During our inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite each of the 6 syllables. During our exhalation, we could physically relax as best we can, while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 3 times per breath. When we do so, we will count 1 breath per finger, and we will advance our thumb one set of creases per repetition of the mantra. Om Ahum Minzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 Let us keep track of our second of 9 collections of our right hand's 12 mantra repetitions by touching the tip of our left thumb to our left ring finger and then resting this left hand upon our left thigh. Doing so could gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce at the navel region of our mid-abdomen. May we feel how all bodies are from sensual yet void, as a Buddha's real or imagined archetype of life could be as impermanent and interdependent, as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communicational speech. I am curious about something. Wrong button. Let's try that again. Okay. Let's hit symbol. Okay, so let's give this one a shot and see if it makes more sense when chanting. May we feel how all bodies or forms sensual yet as what. May we feel how all bodies or forms sensual yet void as all Buddha's real or imagined type of light. Could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communication or speech. So I think this is worth replicating. Let's hit copy. Well, there is a problem right there. Let's just see what happens. So copy and go back. Welcome to editing with Lama, Jigme, Gyatso. Hopefully this will not be too much. Let's see. Let's hit 36 and adjust the chanting notation. Okay. Let's say copy. B and oopsie, insert symbol O. And the last bit is to swap out the art. Insert, paste, and we're going to hit wrap text and scroll and slide. And pull. Oh, coordination, don't fail me now. All right, thank you so much for your patience. Here we go, from the top. May we see how all circumstances or lots appearing it as what is a real or imagined paradise of light could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communication or speech. Okay, so now that we've done enough editing, let's return over here. May we feel how all bodies are from sensual yet as what is or Buddha's real or imagined type of light could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communicational speech. We take all these many words and allow them to coalesce into just 6 syllables that we divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. Again, we recite these 6 words, this time during, we recite these 6 syllables, this time during the inhalation. During the exhalation, we physically relax as best we can, while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 3 times per breath, for a total of 4 breaths. Om Ahum Benzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 We now turn, in order to keep track of our 3rd of 9 collections of our right hand's 12 mantra repetitions, we could touch the tip of our left thumb to our left middle finger and rest this left hand upon our left thigh. Doing so could gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce at the heart region of our chest. All right, we are making progress. That is splendid. And now we just get to swap out the art. Whoops, let's try this again. Cowabunga. Okay, let's give this a shot. Yes, this is supposed to be meditating with Jigme. Sadly, it is editing. Please chant with me now. May we hear how all interpersonal speech resounding yet as what is a real or imagined mantra of light could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communicational speech. We now take all these many words on this page and allow them to coalesce into just 6 syllables that we divide between our inhalation and our exhalation. During our inhalation, silently and mentally we recite all 6 syllables. During our exhalation, we physically relax as best we can, while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 3 times per breath for 4 breaths. Om Ahum Binzu Guru Me Maziri Hung 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 Om Ahum Binzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. And now we come to what I hope will be this morning's final edit. In an effort to keep track of our 4th of 9 collections of our right hand's 12 mantra repetitions, we could touch the tip of our left thumb to our left index finger and rest this left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting our subtle energies to coalesce at the crown of our head. Okay, this is going to be another adventure in editing. Let's hit paste. All right. Whoops. Oh, coordination, don't fail me now. I'm going to insert a piece of artwork. Well, that's just odd, isn't it? Okay, let's go back over here. Let's hit downloads. Nope, let's hit pictures. Let's hit Buddhist yoga. Let's hit Kuntu Zongpo. Let's hit Tigle. Let's hit Rainbow Hum. which sounds like a song, a lyric to a grunge song, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to hit wrap text. I'm going to hit behind text. I'm going to scroll by hand because that's how Word likes it. Going to do my best to move this art and make it more proportional. And let's see how that fits on the screen. That'll work. Okay. Oh, won't you please? Ooh, look at this. Okay, I think we're good to go. May we feel how all minds lucid, yet as what is a real or imagined hung of light could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into a rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although tantalizing to the eye could be non-graspable to the hand. We now silently and mentally recite all these 6 syllables during our inhalation. During our exhalation, we physically relax as best we can, while striving to chant this 12-syllable mantra 3 times per breath for a total of 4 breaths. Om Ahum Bin Suguru Mima Siddhi Hung 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 Om Ahum Bin Suguru Mima Siddhi Hung. Om Ahum Bin Suguru Mima Siddhi Hung Om Ahum Bin Suguru Mima Siddhi Hung Om Ahum Bin Suguru Mima Siddhi Hung. Om Ahum Bin Suguru Mima Siddhi Hung Om Ahum Bin Suguru Mima Siddhi Hung Om Ahum Bin Suguru Mima Siddhi Hung. We will turn to the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, known by many names, including Hatha Yoga's mindfulness and meditation, after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. One moment, I must wet my whistle. I live in Southern California, and I must have gotten a mouthful of the Santa Ana winds because everything I'm eating leaves a terrible taste in my mouth. So if I'm snarling after drinking water, please don't take it personal. So we come to the first phase of mindful crease counting. The luxury car of mindfulness and meditation traverses the smooth road afforded to us by Anu Yoga's energy work. There are many forms of energy work. I feel the most efficient is mudra, or finger gesture oriented energy work. So we're going to use this energy work to keep track of our first of 4 collections of our left hand's 8 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of our right hand's 8 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So doing so helps us get 8 sets of 8 repetitions is, as they taught us in 2nd grade, 64. So we're keeping track of our first of 4 collections, and to do that we're going to rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap so that our thumbs can happily count creases. Now if you say, dude, this is ungainly, you would be correct. Fortunately, repetition really is the mother of skill. Come to these live streams once every 12 hours, and within a week or 2 you can master each of these techniques. As a fringe benefit of playing with our index knuckle, we could feel our subtle energies gently coalesce at the crown region of our head. What if enlightenment was simply mastery of the Eightfold Path? But what is mastery? As children, we were not born knowing how to defecate in a toilet, tie our shoes, brush our teeth, or ride a bicycle. And yet we got so good at doing those things that we could perform them spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. That is mastery. And the key to rapidly mastering these Eightfold Path lies simply in practicing mindfulness, which is the 7th fold, and meditation, which is the 8th fold. These 2 actions help us to spontaneously practice the essence of everything else. So let's begin by performing the following chant. The nudity of the archetypical couple sporting in tantric union reminds us of the vulnerability so crucial to mindfulness. Let's explore the neuroscience of both mindfulness and meditation. Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks. For those of us raised in late-stage capitalism, we were indoctrinated into a worldview of being rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel, to the point of even mocking those who choose to be flexible, loving, rational, laid-back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. We're so... The society in which we live is so rigid that when contemporary meditation teachers instruct their students, they implore them to practice, to actively focus and actively analyze. Now, the only discrete neural pathways in our brain capable of performing these 2 tasks are those located in regions such as the medial prefrontal cortex or dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. Now, besides being winning answers in Scrabble, these bad boys, when overworked, will trigger our amygdala, which sadly is the seat of both anxiety and aggression. So how darkly ironic is it that when we decide we'd like more peace and love, we are advised to set out upon a course of action that actually takes us in the opposite direction. Fortunately, neither the amygdala nor the prefrontal cortex are the only components of our central nervous system. Consider mindfulness. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we are already wired to effortlessly access our sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to help us notice in a very special way, to help us notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly, which I'm sure we would agree is the opposite of concentration. But what have we evolved to notice? We evolved to notice mind's antics of perception. You know, excuse me, seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling, and the like, including emoting, intending, reasoning, recalling, and imagining. Now this can seem a trifle overwhelming. How do we do all these things? Simple. Every time we we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. Doing so interrupts our brain's habit of ignoring our sympathetic nervous system and actually gets it to begin cooperating with it. That's why we meditate, to facilitate this. But what are we going to do with all the stuff that we notice? That's why we meditate. Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we are wired to access our parasympathetic nervous system, divided between our lower third and upper third of our spinal cord. This parasympathetic nervous system has evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release. So much so that what we perceived during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less solid, less permanent, and less defining until the next inhalation. Now, once again, simply by silently and mentally reciting the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we interrupt our brain's habit of ignoring our parasympathetic nervous system and instead induce it to cooperate. To cooperate, which is just fabulous. So together as a team, let us meditate silently for a few minutes right now. Oh, I keep getting all these tasks asking for donations. Let's see. Let me turn on my Do Not Disturb. Okay, welcome to the second phase of mindful crease counting, wherein we shall use our middle knuckle to keep track of our second of 4 collections of our left hand's 8 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of, and our right hand's 8 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So counting 8 sets of 8 repetitions gives us 64. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is simply rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our laps so that our thumbs can happily count. As a fringe benefit, our subtle energies could coalesce at the heart region of our chest. Please chant with me. The translucence of the all-good Father and Mother depicted in paintings remind us of meditation's experience of impermanence and non-graspability. So, quick review. The most efficient way to practice mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. Not only will we wind up noticing mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination, but we will find that we are doing so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. The most efficient way to practice meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation, that we might so thoroughly release that which we perceived during our previous inhalation that they could fleetingly feel a trifle less solid, less permanent, and even less defining. Now, a few minutes ago, really, I mentioned that the key to mastering the Eightfold Path was simply to train in mindfulness and meditation. So here's what's wild. In mindfulness, we might actively strive to ignore change, but we will fail. For everything we notice is changing, sometimes slowly, sometimes rapidly, sometimes subtly, sometimes jarringly, but everything is in a state of flux. This is not something we have to believe. This is not something we have to understand. This is something we observe in the world around us. The things we see are changing. The things we hear are changing. The things we feel are changing. The things we smell are changing. The things we taste are changing. Similarly, our emotions and intentions, our thoughts are always changing. From moment to moment, we recall different things and imagine different things. It is change that makes of grasping an absurdity. Come, let us meditate for the next several minutes. We come to our third of 4 phases of mindful crease counting. Where we keep track of our third of 4 collections of our left hand's 8 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, I think this is an editing opportunity. Let's see something here. Okay. Let's hit cut and paste. And let's hit copy. Okay. So let's try this again. And maybe I'll be a little bit less confusing. So we're going to keep track of our third of 4 collections of our right hand's 8 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that we multiply using with our left hand's 8 sets. 1, 2 sets of 8 repetitions, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 8 repetitions. But how do we keep track of our third collection? By using our ring knuckle. By resting the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger, upon the tip of our left ring finger in our lap, palms up, so our thumbs can happily count creases. Doing so, we will find that our subtle energy is gently invited to coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Please chant with me. The beauty of Skybu Kuntu Zongpo and Cloud White Kuntu Zongbo Yambyum reminds us of the highest love, spontaneous and uncontrived. The key to mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, that we might notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. And the key to meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one syllable verb ease during each exhalation, that we might release what we perceived during a previous inhalation so thoroughly that it could fleetingly feel a trifle less solid, less permanent, and less defining until the next inhalation. And the cycle begins all over again. Now let's discuss the second and third benefits of regularly training in mindfulness and meditation. Second, it calms the anxiety and aggression of our amygdala. And third, it stimulates our anterior cingulate gyrus, which functions as the hub of our mirror neurons and the seat of empathy, the foundation of compassion and love. This is why the late Tulku Thondup insisted that the highest love was not the product of contrived focus or analysis, but rather the spontaneous and uncontrived fringe benefit of simply mindfulness and meditation, of simply watching the antics of mind and then relaxing into their non-graspable nature. Let's practice. We come now to our fourth and final phase of mindful crease counting. So we're going to keep track of our fourth of four collections of our right hand's 8 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And our left hand's 8 sets of those 8 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, multiplying the total to 64. We keep track of this fourth collection, by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger in our lap. Palms up so that our thumbs can happily count creases. Doing so gently invites our subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Please chant with me. The stability... Well, since there's no one's watching right now, I'm going to do a quick edit, what I hope will be a quick edit. Oops, wrong button. Okay. So, quick like a bunny. Excellent. Okay, thank you for your patience. And now let's continue. Whoops, I went too far. Okay, please chant with me. The stability with which God blew Samanta Mandara since, and the abandon with which cloud wed Samanta Bandri sports, reminds us of effortless effort-centered spontaneity. By way of review, the key to mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, that we might notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. The key to meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation, that we might so thoroughly release what we perceived during our previous inhalation, that we might fleetingly experience what we perceived as being a trifle less solid, less permanent, and even less defining. Until, of course, our next inhalation, when the cycle just starts over again. As a fringe, but now, if we practice this every 12 hours or so, we will begin to notice that our choices, utterances, and deeds are flowing from the effortless effort of love's centered spontaneity that is the 6th fold of the Buddha's 8-fold path. The moment you have a specific question about Buddha's chanting, meditation, or philosophy, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Let us now shift gears from silent meditation to mantra meditation. And we will begin by chanting an explanation of the 12-syllable mantra. I invoke teachers on loving action of mindfulness and meditation, as well as the Hung view supporting release at the Benza Tantric. Guru teaches Pema enlightenment and city abilities Hung may be mastered by all. Om Ahum Binzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 We come now to Mahayoga's compassionate cool down, also known as mantra loving kindness. Let us keep track of our 6th of 9 collections of our right hand's 12 mantra repetitions by touching the tip of each finger of our left hand to our palm. Doing so could gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce at our throat. Whoops, that was a mistake on my part. Let's try that again. Instead, let's touch the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left ring finger and rest this left hand upon our left thigh. May we be a font of blessing for all upon who we think or who think of us. May all minds of all beings know be as peacefully enlightened as the lucid yet void mind of a real or imagined Buddha symbolized by a tikle one suitable seed or bija mantra. Om Ahum Binzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. 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 Let us keep track of our 7th of 9 collections of our right hand's 12 mantra repetitions by touching the tip of our left thumb to the tip of our left middle finger, and then rest our left hand upon our left thigh, thus inviting our subtle energies to coalesce at the heart region of our chest. May we be a font of blessing for all who we listen to, speak to, or speak of, and for all who listen to us or speak to us, or speak of us. Om Ahum Benzu Guru Me Maziri Hung 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 Om Ahum Benzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. The interpersonal morality of kind communication is the third fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. To keep track of our 8th of 9 collections of our right hand's 12 mantra repetitions, we could touch each of the tips of our 4 fingers to our left palm. Thumb out. Doing so could gently invite our subtle energies to coalesce at our throat. May we be a font of blessing for all who we touch or who touch us. May all bodies of all forms of all beings know and enjoy the beautiful health represented by Buddha's statuary, depicting the blissful body, sensual yet void of a real or imagined yet dominant archetype of enlightenment. Om Ahum Benzu Guru Me Maziri Hung 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 Om Ahum Benzu Guru Me Maziri Hung. To keep track of this, our 9th of 9 collections of our right hand's 12 mantra repetitions, we could touch the tip of our left thumb to our left index finger and rest this left hand upon our left thigh, thus gently inviting our subtle energies to coalesce upon the crown of our head. May all circumstances or lots of all beings to have the same fortune or boon. As a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, parallel or vati appearing yet void. May all beings everywhere be freed from the tyranny, the cruelty of sexism, racism, Islamophobia, homophobia, transphobia, immigrant phobia, exploitation, classism, fascism, jingoism, and genocide. Om Ahum Guru Me Maziri Hung 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 Om Ahum Guru Me Maziri Hung. The circumstantial morality of kind commerce is the fifth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. Don't panic, my fellow sci-fi geeks, for the meaning of life, the universe, and everything is 42. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 6.5 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.